Durham showed just why they are such worthy champions after they turned the tables on Sussex on the third day of their LV County Championship match at the BrightonHoveJobs.com ground, where Keaton Jennings and Michael Richardson both scored different types of hundreds. Durham began the penultimate day just 2 runs into their second innings and trailing their hosts by 162, and they appeared to be heading towards a rare defeat when Mark Stoneman got a leading edge off Chris Jordan to spoon a catch to Luke Wells. Scott Borthwick had 2 of his stumps ripped out of the ground by Steve McGoffin, and Will Smith in his last Durham innings drove a swinging but wide ball from Luke Wright into the hands of Chris Nash in the gully. He departed with his side on 35 for 3 and still 129 runs adrift of their hosts, but Jennings, who's not been at the top of his game latterly, stuck in there and picked off his boundaries when he was given the opportunity to do so. This between plenty of defensive blocking. Ben Stokes chose a different way to play. He went for his shots, as a talented batsman often does when the season is at its end. Twice he got up on his toes to pull Jimmy Anyon over square leg and out of the ground, with powerfully struck sixes as he raced to 45 off just 40 balls, hitting 7 other 4s as well. He'd added 70 with Jennings when the New England man was another to have his stumps rearranged, this time to a ball from Jordan, which did keep a little low. Paul Collingwood was also out before lunch as he couldn't keep on top of a quick and short ball from Jordan, who was ending the season just as he'd begun it. Phil Mustard fell just after the break for 5, Jordan with the catch this time off the bowling of Anyon to leave Durham on the brink of a defeat on 120 for 6, still 44 runs away from making Sussex bat a second time. A 3-day defeat was on the cards, but Richardson then entered the arena and he was soon altering the game. He got going with an early 6 off Anyon before he began to make hay against the other members of the Sussex attack. The son of the ICC chief David scored his maiden first-class 100 in the all-important win over Yorkshire at the end of August, an innings which went a long way to helping his side win the title this year. And after 81 balls, he was at his latest half-century. From those deliveries, he'd found the boundary on 5 occasions and cleared it once, in an innings which was just starting to turn this game around. He had his side 40 runs to the good by now, at any rate. Into the final session of the day, and the partnership between these two kept going against an attack which was missing its spinner Ashar Zaidi, who broke a finger while batting on the previous day. The partnership was soon beyond 100, with Richardson helping himself to another 6, this time off Nash, which took the batsman into the 70s. It also almost caused the batsman an injury. Jennings had gone about his business in a quiet and unassuming manner, but he rarely missed out on any balls to hit, especially when the home attack dared to drop in short. Jennings is an old-fashioned opener, not unlike Sussex's own Wells. He was now closing in on his second championship ton of the summer. A nudge to long leg off Jordan took him to his superb century, the 3rd of his career, which was made off 218 balls in 4.5 hours at the crease. Bearing in mind the fall of those early wickets, it was his innings which had kept his side in this match. Half an hour later, and Richardson was also raising his bat for a wonderful 100, particularly for a man who doesn't come in until number 8 more often than not. His 2 first-class tons have now come against 2 of the better seam attacks in the country. This one had used up 139 deliveries, from which he'd struck 12 4s and 2 6s. Rather than finishing off the season a day early with an emphatic win to end in 3rd place in the table, Sussex were now possibly even falling behind a little, as these two batted on, taking their partnership into the 200s. Again, Durham were able to produce something from somewhere just when it was needed. Richardson moved ahead of his partner in spite of the fact that Jennings had a 35-over start on his colleague. A third 6 now had Richardson into the 120s. So it must have been with some relief that this brilliant stand was finally ended on 218, when on 129, a career best, Richardson went for another big hit off Anyon, but this time found McGoffin. It gave Anyon his 50th championship wicket of the season. Not that that success changed too much. Usman Arshad then came in and started to smash the ball to all parts, against a tiring and rather disappointed attack. In 23 balls at the crease before stumps were drawn, Arshad hit that 6 and 7 of the 4s as he took full advantage of the work done by Richardson and Jennings, the latter happy just to make sure that he was still batting at the end of what was a terrific day for him. In just 5 overs, these two added 42 more runs. And that took Durham to an impressive 380 for 7 from 97 overs at the close, which gives them a very handy lead of 216 runs. Arshad has raced on to 38 and now needs 12 more for a maiden first-class 50, while Jennings will go again on the final morning of the season on 113, requiring just 11 more runs for the best score of his career.